Hi guys, I'm Weston and welcome back to Sail Wars. Thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers on the YouTube channel so far. We can't thank you enough, and with that, make sure to like and subscribe for future content. It really helps us out a lot. Anyway, if you guys have been keeping up on the channel, this is my compass build. We've been working on this for over a month at this point, and we are finally making the upgrades needed to finally bring it out there and try and race a Dragon Force with this. Now, I want to warn you guys, the upgrades we're making are around $50, which almost puts this as much as a Dragon Force, so we do not recommend you do this. Make sure to just buy a Dragon Force at that point, because this is not going to be worth it in the long run. Okay. You want me to talk about this first? Alright, so I'm going to go over a few parts we have right here that we will be replacing on the boat itself. The first is our receiver. We're going to completely replace the one we currently have in there. This one's a lot better, and it's not even that expensive, so this is a really good part for us. We also have a new rudder, which we have a small one right here, and we weren't getting enough turn in it. That's not going to matter too much with this one anyway. It'll be a really good replacement for us, and it'll finally work. And we have the metal thing, which is going to go right up here and actually helps us with our rudder movement. Right, what's the first thing? The receiver, right? So first things first, we are going to take out the receiver. It has all the black and red wires attached to it, and it's actually Velcroed down. So you have to take it out of the Velcro like this. Oh, I almost got it. We'll cut this all together. Oh, I had it. Hold on. Alright, I got it. Alright, here we have our receiver. Now you can see there's only 4 ports on it so far. The throttle, the rudder, auxiliary 1 and auxiliary 2. The one we are going to be replacing it with actually has 7, including your BYCC. Where's that BVCC? The BVCC, okay. So we have a lot of channels to replace here. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and unplug all of them. Just like that. Now, one thing you'll see right when I unplugged it is these gold bits are actually facing up. That's really important when doing this. You don't want it to be face down going into here. You'd rather it be face up. So, first thing we're going to do is we only want to plug one into our receiver, and it doesn't matter where you plug it in. You can plug it in anywhere, but for here, I'm going to plug it into the second one. Did I plug that in right? No.
No, you want just the black and red one to go in right there.
So this one, no? So this right here is not the right wire. It's white, red, and black. When doing this, we want to grab the power wire, which you can see it's the only one that's only black and red. And what we're going to do is you can see we already have something plugged in here. This is to form a closed loop, which is how we're going to pair it to our controller right down here. This is also another item we got off of Mercari, brand new for $30, so that was a pretty good steal. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in. It does not matter where. So we're going to plug it in right here. And that's in, right? Is that not in all the way?
Yeah, it's in. And make sure that the little gold dots are facing what direction?
Face up. So the gold dots are faced up right in here, so it looks like it's good to go to pair in here. Now, you'll cut out this part real quick. Don't stop recording though. What was it about? I needed to explain something about the wires positioning on here, the receiver.
Well, to bind your receiver to your radio, all you have to have is the power plugged in. So you could do that right now. So basically you're going to turn that on.
Okay, we're going to turn on this. And then we are going to turn on our controller.
But you got to be holding down that button when you turn it on.
And we're going to hold down this button and turn it on at the same time, which will allow it to bind. And you can actually let go of that now. And it should go ahead and bind with this. shouldn't just be, yep, there's the flashing red light. Can you see it?
Okay, and then see it bound because the little binding thing turned off.
So that means it's on now, but we haven't fully connected all what needs to be connected for the boat to work. So here we have 2 more wires. One of these, remember, gold face up, is going to plug right into the bottom. And there we have that. That should be for this, right? The rudder. The bottom one's the rudder.
So I think it's in the wrong one.
What?
That one goes in the number 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but one of them needs to go down there for the rudder. There.
And the way you can test that, I hope it's still not working.
Then why did it start moving?
No, I think, okay, hold on.
Alright, so now that we have the controller and the receiver binded, we're going to go ahead and turn off our sailboat and unplug this. Remember, this was creating a closed loop, so if you're ever trying to put in any sort of control to the boat, it's not going to work. It won't be able to receive it. So we have 2 wires here. The first one we're going to plug into channel 3, and this should give us some action when I turn it back on. Should I turn it back on before I plug all this in, or plug it in and then?
No, just plug them all in. And the rudder one goes.
We'll go to the channel 1, very bottom.
And what about where you took the closed loop off? That one.
We're gonna replace that with the top one. Our power. There we go. So if I turn it back on now, you gotta make sure everything's lined up good, and it looks all right to me. I'm gonna turn it on. And now, I'll lay that out there for now. We'll pick up the controller, and you can see this would be our channel 3. And it looks like it works smoothly. And then we want to check our rudder 2. And this one, you'll see, we actually have a bit of movement compared to the other one. The other one would go maybe a tiny bit tilted like that, but this one actually moves pretty far. And that's going to help us a lot, because with the other one, you really did not have enough movement to create any sort of motion in the water to get you going where you want to be. Even though I can tell that it's still moving more this way than this way, we have a lot more rudder to move us in the right direction. So this one was just a little, oh wait, I didn't replace the big one yet.
No, you're gonna do that next.
Yeah. Well, I have to explain this little one. It's actually moving pretty far.
Yeah.
See that?
Well, remember, the main problem with why we are replacing the receiver is because when you held it first of all,
okay, I got it now.
remember, you held it and then it jerked back by itself, and it wouldn't rotate correctly.
Okay, and I can keep going on this. So with that being said, now that it's moving really well, we're going to replace this rudder with this right here. And that was the main problem with our last receiver. We weren't getting enough motion this way to the right. And now we should be good to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take apart this, the very top part. So I'm going to loosen this up. And that should allow us to take this out. And also this out. Like that. And we have our new metal part here, which has a little paper on it. Oh, I gotta rip that off. There we go. And that'll go like that, right?
Yeah, but you have to replace your rudder first.
Yeah. So that'll go down like this, but to do that, we're gonna have to replace our rudder, because that is this metal part sticking up through here. It'd make no sense to put this on the old one. So we're gonna take this off, and you want the higher piece right here to go on backwards. So we're gonna put it right through the bottom, and you'll see it come through the top when it's in place. Boom. And there we have it. We can line it up with the boat. And now we are gonna replace using this, which we will do this with.
which both of these parts are from a Dragon Force 65.
All right, so we're gonna be able to tighten this down, and we're also gonna tighten this one to keep it in place. And I think we can use this bigger tool for this one. So I'll let you guys see it on camera. We're gonna tighten.
Righty tighty.
Yeah, this is righty tighty. I know what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, it's tight enough. Now this one, you want to make sure that this is poking through, or you're tightening to nothing. It's already pretty tight. Maybe I put it on tight. That's weird. It looks fine though, right?
Yeah, and always make sure pull down. It
right.
feels pretty
Are you still
steady.
recording?
Yeah.
All right, it feels good in there. So, and it's lined up. So let's make sure. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I did something wrong. I didn't tighten it enough.
It's not tight to the rudder posts.
Yep.
Now, something I noticed is that rudder post doesn't come up very far, so you have to make sure you push up and it's as far up as you can get it when you tighten that part down to the rudder post.
I'm gonna loosen this first.
It may actually, at some point, we may want to shave it down a little bit so it slides up just a hair more.
All right, pushing as hard as I can down on there while pushing up. Almost like jamming it in there, but you're not actually jamming it. You're getting it seated to easily tighten it. It's not wanting to, I can tell it's not in there all the way.
Well, maybe, nope. Gotta loosen that up before you stick it in there.
I tried that. You said don't make it fall off though. All right, so I'm filing this down right now because our rudder does not poke far enough in between the hole. So the more we rub this down, the more space we're gonna have and the easier it should be for the rudder to poke through. All right, looking good, right? All right, so we can go ahead and try this once again. Put up the top side backwards. And there we have a lot more room to tighten it down to. So we're gonna put this back on. There, that clicked in a lot better. And we're gonna go ahead and tighten. And don't mind all that black dust on there or particles. That could just come off with the water too. All right.
Okay, see if it works.
Hear that?
Yeah, it's where we had to fix it once before. That's where it's hitting.
All right, so it's hitting, yeah, right there, and it's creating that noise. That's not like a huge problem, though,
It's not
is
a
it?
problem whatsoever.
It's just gonna, it'll do that eventually, and it'll hit out a lot, and it won't be that big of an issue then. You see how it's peeling off a tiny bit, white paint?
You just want it to wear down.
Yeah, wear it down eventually, and then
Well,
it won't even matter.
let's look at something. Okay, when you hit that all the way to the side, it's fine. Okay, it's perfectly fine.
All right. Okay.
Let's put it back together.
Now we gotta put it back together.
We'll go put it on the water.
So I'm gonna slide all this in.
Oh, and when you get that in, you ought to point out what one of our YouTube watchers pointed out.
Yep. I will make sure to do that. Let me just make sure I get this all situated.
You want to make
correctly.
sure you keep everything clear of those lines and the winch when you put a new receiver in or the old receiver.
Yep. So we moved this. It used to be way up here, and he pointed out that this part was coming up higher. So once you move it down, it'll keep it down since you've spread out your stationary parts. So this should help us out a lot with overall control of our boat, and we don't lose control, which was a problem we had. So thank you, whoever commented that. I forget the name, but thank you.
And again, make sure all your cables and antenna wires are well away from are tucked in along the edge of the boat so that nothing can get caught up in the winch or any of the cables.
I'm just going to put it alongside those other wires. There we go. I was waiting for that. Boom. That's good, right? I'm trying to tuck it up under. I don't know if there's enough space between the Velcro part though. Is that enough?
Yeah, that looks fine.
Okay, and we're gonna throw back on this and make sure our lines don't
And
get caught
this
in
is easier to do if you let out on the controller just a little bit so that you have extra line to work with, like we just did. Because you don't want to pin any of your sheets, which are the lines.
I didn't put it in right.
You don't want to get any of those pinched in there, or else it's going to damage them or they're not going to work.
All right, there we go. Nothing's pinched. Tighten it. And boom! There we have it.
We're ready to go test this, right?
Everything still looks good to me. And you'll see with the bigger rudder, we have a lot more space when going to our right. So this should work really well. Ready to test it? Thank you so much, Glenn Steves. I forgot to mention his name and we looked it up on our way out here. He's the one who helped us and recommended to do this. Thank you so much for your help. We're gonna go ahead and put the boat in the water and try it out. All right. We got movement here. I'm gonna go about 50%. And we're starting pretty good. We're going with the wind though. The wind's really pushing and it just started going crazy. So we'll do this. And already I want to point out, we were not able to do this last time. We could not make the boat go this way. It was this way, right?
Anyway, it wouldn't turn right because they had junky receiver in the boat and the controller was garbage.
And you can see we have no problems controlling wherever we want to go now. It came back real easy. We're moving real quick now with the wind. Oh, God. It went so far. Look at that. Boom. Now we're gonna come back this way. We got a real good boat. It's going quick. Look how fast it's going. We can go anywhere with it. That's so good. Look at that. Precise accuracy. Now, time to say goodbye. Wait, I gotta go 50%, I forgot. There we go. You ready to say bye to it? Bye, boat. See you next time. I'm just letting it go, okay?
You're swimming for it.
It's so far. Is this gonna be too far?
No.
Now let's try and take it back, okay? I think I need to do that, right? Uh-oh. Let's turn. Try it again. What am I doing wrong?
Don't know. I'm trying to film.
Alright, I'll have it coming back in just a second. What'd I say? Didn't I say that? I said I'd get it to come back. And I'm using that wind to my advantage. We're gonna slow down. And boom! There's my compass, and we're gonna finally race the Dragon Force with it and see who can win.